So when we finished the last set of tutorials, we were able to get our Bob character to move in and out of our little main room and in and out of our kingdom as well. Like here's his house. He's animated. We can click on this, and then when we come back, click on it again, we get a different response, and that response stays the same. But now for this next set of tutorials, we're going to start talking about inventory management. And inventory management is all about organization. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is actually open up a Google spreadsheet. And we're only going to set up 5 different sort of types of information on this. We're going to have our item ID number, starting with 0, which is an empty slot. Okay, and then we're going to have the name of it, right, the name of the object. Then we're going to have the type of object, and type refers to 0 is just a carrying item. 1 is going to be a weapon. Then we have its damage, 0, 1, 2 for this one, 0 for the map, and we'll do 1 for health because we can always use this instead to add to our character's health meter. And then we're going to use unique to test whether or not the character can or cannot have more than one of these items. Okay, so like 1 means it's not unique and they could have, you know, multiple health potions, that kind of thing. I suggest for your first game, especially if you're, you know, watching these tutorials, keep the inventory very small. Okay, very small. We're only going to have 5 different slots for our character. I think a lot of people go into these games thinking they're going to create sort of really robust inventories, and a lot of games just never get done because hours and hours and hours are spent trying to organize an ever-growing inventory. Plus, if you stick with sort of a simple inventory like this, you can add a whole bunch of different items to it. And then you can always grow this to add, let's say, a story, backstory one. But for right now, we're just going to keep it simple. Okay, so create a spreadsheet. Okay, you can match it to mine here if you want, just so we can stay on the same page. And then we're going to set up our items in our game itself. And in order to do that, since this is something that we want to have access to throughout the entire project, we're going to want to set these up as global variables. So let's go into our global variables, and let's, I've got one here already set up, but if you want you can start a new one down here. And we're going to call this structure here items. Okay, and let's click on our plus sign here next to items because we want to make this into a structure. And let me double check how many we need. We need, well, we're going to make this actually into its own sort of parent variable here. So here's what I mean. So this is the beginning of our sort of pseudo array slash structure. And we're going to call this item 0. And then we're going to add under 0 here. And we're going to need, oh, my spreadsheet went away. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 different data types under that. So let's click the plus here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need name, right? Under 0, we need the name of the item. So we're going to use our item ID to reference our structure here. We have name, we've got damage, we've got unique, what was the last one? Type. Okay, let's set up the rest of these. Under items, we're going to do 1, That's 2 items, that's 3 items, 4 items. I think that's the most we have right now, right? We have 5 technically. Okay, so we've got item 1, and we need to set up under that 1, 2, 3, 4. That's damage, name, type, and unique. This is going to be item 2. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Damage, type, name, unique. And you can see how this building an inventory can start getting really laborious, right? Really long after a while. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is why you want to keep it simple at first, especially. Damage, name, type, unique, and last one here for at least our little mini inventory. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damage, name, type, unique. Okay, and we can fill these in actually right now. We can change them on the fly, but since we only have so many of these, we can actually fill these in now if we wanted to and hard code them. So for example, for this item 0, this is actually just going to be an empty slot. We're going to call it empty slot, and type is 0, unique 0. That doesn't matter because it's just empty slot. This first one here is our basic sword, I believe, right? Basic sword, type 1, damage 1, unique 1. Okay, the second one, I believe the damage is 2. It's called the bowel destructor. The type is 1 because it's a weapon, and it is unique. You can only have 1. After that, at 3, the third item is the map, and that's all zeros too. So for our map, it's 0. Name is map. Type is 0. And it is unique. And the last one, we've got a health potion, right? That's 1. It'll restore 1 potion. And again, we can change that later on. Health potion. The type is 0 because it's a carrying item, not a weapon. And it is not unique. Alright. Make sure you hit apply here. And we've just started setting up our inventory for the game.